Alright, hello guys, this is AVK from Elation Finance and I will be teaching you the basics of RSI and how to look at RSI to understand divergences and set up your own trades. Okay, so I'll use very simple language so anyone who's a starter can understand this, but I first recommend you to watch our first video on support and resistance and candlesticks so that you'll get a better understanding of how to look at candlesticks and set up trades. Okay, so RSI is basically an indicator. It is to be used as a confluence. All right, you cannot use it. You cannot use just RSI to set up your own trades. It is basically used to understand oversold and overbought market conditions. So it will show up as an oscillator on the bottom of your chart. It ranges from 0 to 100, and during say a very overbought market you will see it ranging above the mean average, which is 70. Anything above 70 is basically overbought and anything below 30 is oversold. But RSI on its own, you cannot use it just to set up a trade. So let's take this example here. Around 19,500, the RSI was way over pot, which is 84, but it still did a 3x from there. So as you can see, you cannot use just the RSI to set up trades. This is where divergences come up in play. Divergences can help you understand that there is a difference in the price action and the RSI. Hence the term divergences. It can be used to set up trades for reversals and continuations. There are two types of divergences, and as you can see here, sorry, just a second. So there are two types of divergences, bearish and bullish. And there are also hidden divergences. Divergences are used to either find reversals, which is bullish or bearish, or to find trend continuations, again bullish or bearish. Here I'll show you an example of a bearish divergence. So the price, it peaked thrice here. As you can see, it went up thrice, and but the oscillator, it kept making lower highs. The price kept making higher highs, but the oscillator kept making lower highs. Now if you would have seen the chart just till here, obviously you could see a higher high here and a lower low here. But what is the chance that it doesn't keep going up, which it did? It did not break market structure, right? So here you can see how the price went up, came down, didn't break the lower high, went up again, came down again, it did not break the lower high, it went up and it broke the lower high here, which determines a break in market structure. So if you took a trade here and you saw this green candle, it would possibly be a good time to get out. So this is why you can't use just RSI and divergences. You have to wait, you have to use them as only a confluence. Here if you took the trade and you saw the trend breaking, you can obviously keep holding because it's a very big break in market structure, and breaks in market structure can change the whole trend. It can change a coin from bullish to bearish. All right, so sorry, just hold on, give me 1 second. I have to find the photo. And here I'll show you an example of a bearish divergence. So a bearish divergence is when the price goes down from the bottom but the oscillator goes up. It's the opposite of a bullish divergence. The bullish divergences are taken from the top of the candles, whereas a bearish divergence is taken from the bottom. So a bearish divergence or bullish divergence basically plays out when the price action is making lower lows, but the oscillator is making a higher low. So here, as you can see, when the market crashed to 28,000 and we created another bottom here at 30,000, the oscillator was very bullish. Price action kept making lower lows, but the oscillator made a lower high, which is extremely bullish. So that's the basics of divergences. That's all it is. You don't need anything else to look. You don't need to understand exactly what RSI is. You just have to look at discrepancies in the price action and the oscillator, which is RSI. I will show you another example. Let's check out on Ethereum. Yeah. Okay, so this is a hidden bullish divergence. So I'll explain a little bit about hidden divergences. Hidden divergences are used to find continuations in the trend. They are not used for reversals like normal divergences. They are used to find short term weaknesses. There you basically enter the short term weakness in a continuing trend. So here as Ethereum pumped from 740 to 2000, we saw a little bit of a downtrend till up to 1400. So I'll just draw this line, a trend line here. The price went up but the oscillator went down, which is a hidden bullish divergence. And as you can see, the trend continued to go bullish and it moved upwards. Now you can use RSI and divergences in any time frame. You can use it on a 15-minute chart. You can also use it on a 1-minute chart. But obviously 1-minute chart, it's extremely volatile and you'll have a lot of noise. So I would not recommend it. The best time frame that I would suggest is either 4 hours or 1 day. 4 hours can be a little tricky, but 1 day is always the best because you have a lot of time to set up trades. You can find a better entry in a shorter time frame and you'll have more confluences such as EMA, support, resistance. You can set trades up with a very low risk margin. All right, so this was a hidden bullish divergence. Let me show you a hidden bearish divergence. Hold on. Okay. Okay. So as you can see here, once Bitcoin peaked at 70,000 on 10th November, it started its gradual downfall. And let me just draw this trend line here. Sorry. So here the price went down, but the oscillator went up. This is a hidden bearish divergence. As I said, hidden bearish divergences are used to see confluences within the trade. So the price action formed a lower high, but the RSI formed a higher high. That is a divergence. Bitcoin moved from almost 48,000 to that's $17,000. That's almost a 70% dump just with one confluence of the RSI. So that's all there is in RSI. Actually, it's a very simple concept. You have to understand how the price action has to move, how you need to set up trades using the oscillator, and you'll be good. Now, if anyone wants me to chart their own RSI, their own charts, you can please tell me so that I can check the chart and tell you whether what the price action is doing. Okay, so someone in the chat, Ayush Jain, has asked me, but it's such a long time. Don't get any good swing trade for such a long time. It's on 1 day chart. Yes. So the thing about trading is you need patience. You cannot go for a smaller time frame. You cannot risk your capital like that. Obviously it will take a long time, but you have more confluences when you look at the 1 day chart. Your risk is lowered and you can hold it for a very long time. Um, can you tell me if in 15 minutes or 1 hour or 4 hours, can you find a move which does 70%? Because that's what happened in this divergence, or even this one did almost a 2x, because it was on the 1 day chart and people could set up the trades. You could set you could set your trades up, and if you were patient enough, you could have made a lot of money with that. Explain in lower time frame. All right, I'll just show you guys a 15-minute chart. I'll try to find a divergence there. Okay, so here's one. Okay, this is on the 15-minute chart of Bitcoin. So as you can see, I connected a lower low to another lower low, but the divergence had formed a higher low, which is bullish. You can see the price went up from here. Okay, I've got a lot of chart requests. I'll chart them one by one. I'll check out near. Okay, there's nothing on the 15-minute chart. Let's check the. Okay. Okay, so on near, the price has continually kept going up. It has formed a higher high over a higher high, but the RSI has formed a lower high, which is a discrepancy in the price action. This is a bearish divergence, so I don't think it's done yet. But if we see another pump on near and then a retrace, then I'm pretty sure that the RSI would form something like this. It would form a lower high and then go down, which would make it even more bearish. So I don't think near is done yet. It could go up a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna like just go up straight, because the RSI is playing out and it would not uh, go against it that easily. Ethereum, all right. Okay. Oh, there's nothing on Ethereum. Like, okay, one more thing you guys need to understand is not every single move is going to have a divergence play out. There will be many times where you will see the coin form a higher high and the RSI will be doing the same. That's not a discrepancy. So you cannot consider that as a divergence. Only if the divergence is playing out the opposite of what the price action is doing, you can set up trades accordingly. Let me show you an example. So for example here, the price action is going up, but it does not necessarily mean that the divergence or it's going to form a lower low. As you can see, the price action went up and so did the divergence on RSI. So not every single move you will be able to set up trades on there, but if you can find something, it's going to work out. Let me check it on a 1 day chart. No, there's no RSI playing out currently on Ethereum. Check another example. Gala. Okay. So Faisal has asked, uh, you guys gave a call for Unfi which went ballistic in 3 to 4 hours. How does RSI work in those scenarios? So RSI is an indicator which works in a relatively stable market. You cannot use RSI to trade in a you cannot use RSI to only trade in a bull market or a bear market, because in a bull market everything will be ranging above 60 or 70 RSI. So you can just check an example of Bitcoin here. I'm sorry, Ethereum here. There are so many points where it went up and the RSI was always above 50. It was always above the average. So in these scenarios, you cannot use RSI to play out. That is why you need divergences. And in something which goes up that fast, indicators don't matter because it is manipulated by the whales. If something does a 3x, 4x, 5x in a couple days or a couple hours, no support, resistance, nothing matters. Technicals do not matter because it is being pumped by the whales. Nothing matters during those times. RSI, divergences, indicators, support, resistance, everything else plays out in a relatively stable market with good volume or decent volume. If you can check the volume on one fee, you can see the volume here. No indicator is going to work if the volume does almost than the normal ones. It's not easy to go from 2.5 to 41 in just a day. So exactly, no indicators are going to work like that. Vinod Kumar has asked, you have to look carefully to find the divergence. Not on every chart there will be divergence. Yes, exactly. You cannot, divergences cannot be found on all charts or all time frames. You have to look at many charts. You probably will have to look at 10 or 15 charts to find one divergence on a 4 hour or a 1 day chart for it to play out. Because not everything will have a divergence. Sometimes the price action will be moving up and so will the RSI. Sometimes the price action will be moving down and so will the RSI, as you can see here. Only if there is a discrepancy in the price action and the RSI, for example, the RSI vice versa, that is a divergence. Only then you can set up trades accordingly using RSI. So it means it can work on swing trades, not scalps. That is not entirely true. You can use the 5 minute, 1 minute, 15 minute time frame to set up your trades as well. But again, it's going to be inaccurate. You will very rarely find a setup in a 15 minute or a 5 minute time frame. I'll try to find one if I can. No, no, no. So I was trying to find a divergence on Onfi, but there doesn't seem to be any. So that is what I'm trying to explain. The price action. So let's just take a random example so that I can show you guys that not everything can have a divergence. So the price action went up. It created higher high here. It created a higher high here. Let's check it on the RSI. The RSI went up too. So this is not a divergence. It's not necessary for it to play out on every time frame or every coin. You will probably have to look at a lot of charts before finding one divergence. Can you please look into Gala? All right, I'll check it out. Okay, this is a good one. So here the price action has formed a higher low. but the divergence has formed a lower low. This is a very strong bearish divergence. I'm sorry, just hold on 1 second. This is a 15-minute chart. Let me check the 1 day. Okay, the price has formed a lower high, as you can see here. It has respected this trend line, but the RSI has formed a higher high. Can someone in the what divergence this is? If you understood today's concept, I would like someone to tell me what uh, divergence this is. Okay, looks like no one is telling. Okay, looks like no one has really understood it because I'm not watching anyone comment. This is a hidden bearish divergence. It indicates a continuation of a trend. So if you were to trade this with divergence, the price action is to probably be going down because there is a correct, it is a bearish divergence, Punir, but it is a hidden bearish divergence, so it will continue as a bearish downfall. A question from NS Rajesh: how many coins can we watch for RSI divergence? Because we have hundreds of coins. So again, the same thing. You cannot find a divergence in every chart. You will probably have to look at 10 to 15, 20 charts maybe to find one divergence and set up your trades. For example, I just looked at Gala and this is a hidden bearish divergence. So the probability of it playing out will be very high. Obviously, nothing is 100% certain in crypto or any market, but there is a higher probability that Gala will not be going up from here. There is a higher probability of it going down. Update on Ethereum. What is okay? Mr. Adil Ali has asked, what is strength into weakness? Is it related to divergence and RSI? Uh, yes. So even in RSI, you have weak, medium, and strong divergences. I will upload a photo on Telegram so that you can understand it better because it's not it'll be better if you can just look at the graphic representation. I'll send a voice note afterwards so that you can understand it better. I'll send it to you in the group. Okay, any other examples, guys? Because RSI is a very small concept. It's very simple to trade. You just need a lot of practice. You need to look at a lot of coins, a lot of charts on different time frames, and it has to be used only as a confluence to trade. You cannot use just RSI and divergences to trade. You need to understand candlesticks. You need to understand patterns, bullish engulfings, bearish engulfings, parallel channels, and many other things. EMAs as well if you find success with it. I personally don't use EMAs as I find them random, but if you can use it to find a confluence in setting up a trade with RSI and divergences, then it's good for you. It will work out. Now let's look at the market and see what we can make out of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, okay, so first I would like to check out ETH BTC. So as I explained in the Telegram group, Ethereum against Bitcoin has not broken this resistance for almost 7-8 months now. This has been a very strong resistance for Ethereum to break against Bitcoin, but we see it finally break through and retest. I'll show it on the 4-hour chart. Yeah, so we see it break out here, and obviously it went up, it formed a parallel channel, and now it retested. Now it's just ranging within the parallel channel. I think it's up to Bitcoin now. If we see strength in Bitcoin in the coming days, it could break out of the channel. But usually, according to technical analysis, a parallel channel which moves upwards is bearish. You would not. Sorry, hold on. Yes, so you cannot really make much out of it unless you see it breaking out and retesting, or breaking down and retesting. Let's check Bitcoin out. So the US markets opened bullish today, and we could obviously see a pump in Bitcoin. Now, if we see Bitcoin retrace from here, the RSI would form a low, and that, excuse me, so that would be a bearish divergence. If Bitcoin does not break this top and we see a red candle tomorrow, RSI would naturally fall down from here. The price action is angling upwards, but the RSI is angling downwards. So this is a bearish, it's a very strong bearish divergence. So in order to move up, we have to see Bitcoin break through this in today or tomorrow, or else it would form a bearish divergence, and it is a strong confluence for Bitcoin to go down even more, which would cause Ethereum to go down as well, and ETH BTC won't break out of this parallel channel, and probably it would go down and retest it as a resistance. So for the market to move upwards for alts and Ethereum, Bitcoin has to show strength today or tomorrow, most probably, or else it would be a sign of weakness. Okay, so that's it for today. Do you guys have any other questions? Okay, a funny comment from Vinod. Only practice will get you something, as Nishant Bhai says. Netflix ab choro pura pura din sirf charts dekho, good night. So obviously you have to spend a lot of time in the market to understand all these things. You cannot just because you watch this video does not mean you can just use this data to trade. You have to find charts. You have to do paper trading. You have to set up risk management on your own, and only then you will be successful as a trader. Just using indicators or support resistance is not enough. You have to manage your risk. I will have a video on risk management coming up soon. I'll update you guys in the Telegram channel. That's it for today, guys. I hope you understood